It's a low elo legends game. And we're going to do a little bit of analysis. I see a few of you comments, and you like it when I do a bit of analysis. You want to kind of be able to see what's going wrong and see what these guys are doing wrong. Now, guys, let me just start off with low elo legends games are like the most difficult games to find because I watch so many low elo legends, right? And it's one of the one type of game I have to watch before I cast, just because it's like 95% of low elo legend games, or just low elo legend or low elo games in general, aren't legendary. They are treaty plus 30 games. You know, they're at least treaty 20 games. So there's literally nothing happening for 20 to 30 minutes in like 90%, at least 90% of all low elo games. So I found this one, and I thought this was a great case study of a low elo legends game. So let's do a bit of analysis on what's going on here. So both of these guys, I think they're around 600 to 500 elo. I'll put the elo on the thumbnail. I can't remember exactly, but it's around 600 elo. So very, very low, much lower than the standard. And we'll kind of have a look. And I saw some interesting things to happen in this game, and it was actually quite an entertaining game. So from what I can remember, it happened a couple of days ago. So I thought I'd go back over it again, and let's have a look and a little analysis of what's going on, and a little bit of a laugh along the way, because we like to point the finger at people worse than us and go, ha 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 ha, silly noob. But we was all noobs once upon a time. However, I probably wasn't this newbie once upon a time. I'm not gonna lie. However, we've got, so this is let's have a look at the Mexico's deck here. So we've got Joan Lease Jesus, we'll call him Jesus. Going for, already we've got an issue here. Already we have a cathedral construction as his first shipment. Already we have villagers attacking a scout at 2 minutes of the game. Guys, I mean, this is pretty damn obvious, right? But this is just, he's actually running with his village, and now he's having to run back again. By the way, just in case anyone wanted to know, so a couple of things there. The most efficient way to kill a scout is to put villagers in your TC. You get like 9 attack. You get 9 attack from a TC per villager inside. A villager itself only does 3 ranged attacks, so you're getting 3 times the damage by putting a villager in your TC. So that already, for starters, is a little bonus for you. We've got Fang the Tame Coyote here from a treasure. Very, very nice. Obviously, the second issue here is that Jesus decided to send the cathedral construction first shipment. Now, obviously, that's not good. Even in 10-10 scenarios, it's not good. You get much more tempo, eco. Always send your villager cards first, guys. Always send your villager cards first. It's just way more effective. He's going for a 10-10. Again, there's this not a very good build. He's not herding either. Guys, if you don't know how to herd and you're not confident doing it, just go onto an AI skirmish game and practice. Just spend all the time you want practicing. Practice your opening, like your first 2-3 minutes of the game. Just go on skirmish AI and just practice it. Practice and practice. Restart after 2 minutes. Restart after 2 minutes. And just keep practicing. Keep practicing. It takes 12 seconds for a herd to move. Okay, so what that means is the first 12 seconds of a game, if you shoot a herd, okay, it won't move. Once that 12 seconds is up, it will then move in the opposite direction that you shoot it. So you can see here, this villager is herding in this pronghorn here, and it takes every 12 seconds, every 13 seconds or so. You want to time it for about every 15 seconds to be safe. You want to time it so you want to hit the herd every 15 seconds, and you want to get the herd as close to your town center as possible, because obviously the closer the herd, the less walking distance your villager needs to do, so the more gathering it can do and the faster it gathers. And also, it's less susceptible to being killed or raided from your opponent. You can see here, it looks like we had a bit of a back herd mishap here. But yeah, and you can see this is exactly what I mean. Look how far away the villagers are from the next herds. He hasn't bothered to herd in the next herd. So look at these 2 villagers. That's taken them like 30 seconds to walk all the way over here. That's 2 villagers, 30 seconds, and he's still herding it away from his town center. So doesn't know what to do. Herding, guys, is one of the key skills, okay, in the first 2 to 3 minutes in the game and into the late game as well. Very, very important to learn how to herd, okay? So go and practice that if you're not confident doing it, and then just add that skill to your, your arsenal of skills in the early game. He's going. I actually don't mind this card. Quattro Hacienda's coming in. That's actually quite a good card. I rate this card. So he's aged up with this. I think it's quite good. It gives you an Hacienda, and it gives you 20 pop per Hacienda. Generally, you want to send this card here first, the villager card, because that gives you 1 Hacienda. And then when you send this card, you then have 40 population and 2 Haciendas. So it's pretty good card, and it transitions into synergizes with some nice build orders that involve Hacienda play, like Yucatan, etc., etc. So not actually a terrible card there. He's gone down for Forwards Barracks. And is this... Wow, now he's sending an Age 1 card. Again, huge mistake here. He's sending an Age 1 card when he's in Age 2. Again, not ideal. Let's go have a look over at the French player. Is that Ginja Ninja? Ginja Ninja, nice name. Okay, so what we've got here. Okay, well... For starters, guys, every deck can have 25 cards, okay? So you want to maximize out. He's only got 19 cards in here. He's titled it Old Guard, which tells me he wants to get Edict de Nantes. But you need to pack out your deck, guys. There's like the easiest thing that you guys can make sure you're doing is make sure your deck has the maximum amount of cards. He's gone for 3 vills, 4 vills, 700 wood. So Ginja Ninja has actually got a decent build order here. Obviously, you guys, at 7 minutes of the game, you want to have very little resources unless you're aging up. You want to be spending your resources as quickly as possible. More resources that's spent into your town infrastructure or military, the more tempo you get. So tempo begets tempo, resources beget more resources, and XP, etc., etc. So you just want to be cleaner and faster, but that comes with practice. That comes with practice. So these guys, this is actually not doing too well. And look at this. I think he's got. I mean, look at that. I mean, this guy's got his market techs in. He's got steel traps in. He's now going for amalgamation as well and using the 700 wood to get some infrastructure down and to get that amalgamation, because that's an expensive tech. That's 200 wood and 200 food. Making some musketeers. I actually think killing Buck the Tame Wolf, or was that Fang the Coyote? I can't remember. I think that was Fang. Actually, like doing a semi-musketeer FF. If he ages up with this 700 coin, this is actually a good build order. This guy actually knows what he's doing, and I actually quite like this. You did see they went for a starting TP at the start of this game as well. Looks like he's kind of herding this in as well. Hopefully that village doesn't go and ruin it. I think he's herded this in as well as best as he can. So actually doing, look at this. Yeah, he's actually doing a really good job. This guy, very low elo, but looking pretty clean right now. Not gonna lie. I mean, he's kind of a minute behind where he should be. But again, that will come with practice. And it does look like he's going to go for the age up here, which I really, really like. Okay, let's switch back over to the Mexico player. Now, this is what I like about low elo legends. I really like when low elo players go aggressive builds. I really like that because I feel like they learn more from the game than the players that just sit back and do like treaty 20, treaty 30 games. I love it when low elo legends are aggressive. And that's one of the reasons I picked this game. Both of these guys are making units, which is really smart. This guy's making a mixture of Soul Daddies, Salteadors, and Insurgents. So, I quite like that. For this elo level, I really like that. I think that's really effective. Generally, you don't want to mix too many types of units. Generally, you want to make 2 types of units or 1 type of unit to begin with. So he could just go Skirm and Pike rather than adding in those Soul Daddies. But again, it's not bad. It's not bad by any stretch. It all comes down to micro. So it's going to be interesting to see his micro. He's been aggressive against the trade post, which I really like. The second trade post going up. So I quite like that. He's hesitating for a little bit here. I'm not sure why. We're finally getting some villagers in here. 5 villagers coming in. 700 gold has been sent. 5 salty does. So he's actually now starting to make some good decisions with regards to his shipments here. Both these guys missing each other for about 10 seconds there. But yeah, look at this. This looks like this is going to go quite well for Mexico, actually. Okay, we've just got attack move on both sides by the looks of it. Again, doesn't really need to do too much. Can just... Okay, he's walking back. I think he saw the flank of Musketeers coming in. Could probably plant his flag up here. Don't think it's too far away. Actually, France somehow... And this is just a classic, like, 600 elo fight, right? So you can see now Mexico, now he's starting to kite. I like this. Now he's starting to move back and shoot. Move back and shoot. He has the range advantage. He should have been doing that at the very beginning of that fight. So the insurgents should have been doing the swarming, and the salteadors should have kept their distance. He now plants his flag down, which is actually going to work quite well because it will speed up his military shipments coming in. But somehow, I don't know how that went so well for France, actually. But it did. But okay, gonna clean up eventually. More salty doors coming in. So again, you know, this guy clearly knows how to micro with his salty doors, but he wasn't doing it, and he could have done it a lot sooner. So again, there's an improvement to be made from his micro and making sure he's just being very active with his kiting, very active with his shoot back and move, shoot back and move. That's what we call kiting. You kite away from them, shoot, move, move. But other than that, it wasn't terrible. You know, they both know the attack move button. So, you know, that's a start. I've seen a lot of low elo legends that don't know what attack move is. Okay, now probably looks like he's going to age up behind. As you can see, France has aged up. So this France player, I really like his build order. His build order is pretty close to what you see at a high level. It pretty much is identical to like a Sambi build, for example. He's actually shipped Edict Nantes. He's gone for 1k wood. Now, this is the first big shipment decision I've made, which is a mistake I've seen from France. So up till now, France has made really good decisions with his build order. Should have gone for 2 Falcons. If your opponent is in H2, go for 2 Falcons. Get those 2 Falcons, get your Musketeers out, and go and apply pressure to this barracks. Go and hit them hard. Do not let them age up. If you're in H3 and your opponent is in H2, 99% of the time, you want to go for 2 Falconets. 2 Falconets, guys, okay, is one of the most OP shipments in the game. It always has been, and it always will be. It's just one of those things. 2 Falconets, one of the best shipments in the game. They just are. They are just so good, especially against H2. H2 really struggles to deal with 3 Falconets. But so far, you know, this has been not bad on both sides. Triple barracks. I mean, he's got the resources for it. I mean, just, you know, this guy, he needs to be spending his resources a lot better. Actually, is he going for industrial here? He might actually be going for industrial here, which is interesting play. Interesting play. He could have gone for the 2 Falconets. Okay, now goes for the 2 Falconets. Okay, that's good. Should have gone for the 2 Falcons first. Applied pressure here. But if he wants to go for the industrial, the 2 Falconets is still very important. If your opponent pushes you and you're going to the industrial, you're going to need something to protect yourself. And it does actually look like here that he's going for the industrial. Interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. Not the fastest semi-industrial, but again, these guys are very low elo. So this is a pretty impressive semi-fast industrial. I really like this. I would continue to send the 2 Falconets. Just because you don't know what your opponent is going to push in with. He could do a massive H2 push, and you could get caught completely off guard. Now starting to triple racks Musketeers. It's looking really good for France, and he's up 6k score as well. He's on 30 villagers. He's shipped Edict Nantes, but he doesn't have a church yet. He's getting a second trade post, but should probably just put down a church instead, and then start getting those old guard. Let's go have a look at Jesus. He's in H3 now as well, so he did decide to age up. First shipment is going to be 6 Soul Daddies, followed by Tabascan Separatists. So that card is going to send 8, I think, in the total. It sends you a Salty Door per shipment, so it's going to send him 8. Gonna go for veteran soul daddies. I like that. But again, doesn't have another huge mistake that this guy has made is he doesn't have 2 falconets in his deck. Huge mistake. And now, this is why 2 falconets are so good. Please tell me he's not going to try and naked it. Yeah, he's going to have to back up. Should have backed up sooner. The moment you see those falconets, do not attempt to take a fight. Do not. Just get out of there. Get your own falconets or culverins. And again, now Mexico's kind of stuck. He's sending skirms, but the skirms are going to lose to the falcons. So he's kind of stuck now. Guys, please, if you're European or North American civilization, please have your 2 falconets. It doesn't matter what strategy you do. You will always need 2 falconets, whether it's defensively, offensively. You just never know when you're going to need it. And 2 falconets is one of the most OP shipments in the game. Like I said, always has been, always will be. Make sure you have it in your deck. Okay, so Saltador's coming down here. That trade post did go down, and so did this trade post. So, nice stuff there by Jesus, actually. Taking down the trade post. That was risky, though, because France could pressure that. But he's deciding not to. He's aged up with the engineer, so he's got the extra 2 falconets now. Starting to look really good for France. Jesus is going to need to do something about these falconets. If he can get some culverins out, he'll be looking really good. But it looks like he's going to go for Chinicos to deal with the falconets. That's not a bad decision. It's not a terrible decision. But if you see your opponent making lots of musketeers, the safest option by far is to just get culverins, guys. Just get your culverins. Culverins good against heavies, good against falcons. You know, and then you just have to worry about the musks. So, yeah, doesn't have the 2 falconet card in his deck, and is making cavalry here. Again, not a bad composition, but if you're seeing your opponent making lots of artillery, please, you need to make sure you get culverins. Super important. Or make falconets yourself. Going for guerrilla tactics to buff his rifle infantry. Again, not a bad shipment. Not a bad shipment, but it's not going to deal with the falconets. So he's kind of knows what he's doing, and he's buffing his units well. But he's not countering his opponent. He's not countering the artillery, and that's what's important here. You need to adapt. You need to counter. Oh, Maya calendar coming in there. I can't even remember what that does. Honestly, can't remember what that does. That one's armor. That one's the fort. You know, getting some native text, that's pretty impressive. Looks like he wants to age up himself here as well. Again, not a bad decision. Taking down another trade post. Jesus on 32 villas. And his macro there was spot on. Look at that. Beautiful macro there. So actually, really nice. Going up with the Zacatecas. Okay. What does he have in age 4? Does have some good shipments in age 4. I like that. So he's got both his factories. Does have another 4 and 2 heavy cannons. So not a bad deck in age 4. Let's have a look at Ginja Ninja. And he's stacking a lot of resources. You can see here, this is just like a typical low elo Legends game. Like, they're stacking a lot of resources. They're not making the houses, you know, for their population that they need. And it's just repetition. Doing these things repetition over and over again. Getting used to. Guys, make sure you've got hotkeys. My hotkeys to go to a barracks is F1. Okay, you go to F1, you can see there. Look, F1. It goes to my barracks. It doesn't highlight. It doesn't channel to my barracks. It just highlights it, and then you can just go bang and then click your musketeers rather than have to manually go on the map. We've got some cavalry trying to counter the falconets here. So I like this again. Even some box drag trick, box microing kind of going on here by the France player. Really, really good stuff, actually. He managed to take down 2 falconets. Really quite good, actually. But again, still 2 alive. And he's forced to back up. If these were culverins, it would be easy peasy. 2 heavies now on the way for France as well. Looking really good for France right now. Oh, but that's a beautiful pop. Oh, and 2 flanks coming in with Chinicos. They are H2 cap though. There goes 1. Make sure you target the next falconet. This might be a cleanup now. for Jesus. He's trying to protect the falconets. You can see he's slowly trying to bring it towards his musketeers, but the last swing just about takes down that falconet. And now skirmishers should surely wipe the floor with these musketeers. Great micro, great stuff there by Jesus. He made it hard for himself. But Ginja Ninja just couldn't quite protect them as well as he wanted to. You could see he was trying to box drag to bring the falconet towards his musketeers. And again, with a little bit more practice, he'll learn how to drag box micro more effectively to make sure the musketeers can protect them better. Now look at this macro. Like, he's almost going to Imperial at this rate. Like not spending his resources. Okay, now he spams a load of musketeers. But again, you know, just could be better. And this is why he's lower elo. He's not spending his resources. His APM isn't as fast right now. He needs to be getting these houses down, having a hotkey to build houses like this. But you know, but Ginja Ninja has actually, you know, outside of just being, you know, low APM, really the guy's played quite well. Like, you know, the build order was fantastic. This guy could go to 2k elo with this build order. I'm not kidding you. This guy could get to 2k elo with this build order. He just needs to play better. So really, I don't have that much to say about this guy. It's just practice. Just practice, practice, practice. Jesus, on the other hand, does need a bit more practice. And he's actually caught up in score. Look how much he's caught up in score right now. Could we see a comeback? Does have a shipment. And I like the musks. I like the salteadors. Okay, he's getting both his factories. That's good decision making. He's making sure his factories are nice and safe behind his town center. Very good. Needs to make sure he gets the moment this card comes in, because this card costs 500 wood and 500 food. It gives your factories 100% more HP, which is fantastic. But it also makes all of the upgrades free. So he needs to make sure he gets those upgrades in as soon as possible. Don't waste any second. The longer you leave it, basically the less resources you're getting. So want to make sure you get those upgrades in from your factories as soon as possible. And at this level, if you're like, even at high elo, like most of the time, you'll often see factories produce heavy cannons, right? If the top guys are doing that, they're doing it for a reason, okay? If you're low elo, okay, 1,000 elo and below, or even just like 1,200 elo below, okay, just stick your factories on heavy cannons. Honestly, like the tempo that heavy cannons come, like it takes a degree of micro to beat heavy cannons, like huge masses of heavy cannons. And if your opponent doesn't have that level of micro, it's very easy to micro your heavy cannons and just smash stuff. Honestly, guys, if you're lower elo, just put your factories on heavy cannons and leave them on heavy cannons. Just make sure you're always making houses to make sure you've got enough population for them. You'll be surprised by how the tempo stacks up. If you've got like 5 or 6 heavy cannons, it's very difficult to beat. And one slip up, even at the highest elo level, one slip up, one micro slip up, the heavy cannons will just, great. You've seen it so many times before on the channel. Great bombards, rockets, heavy cannons, you name it. They will just steamroll over everything. So please, guys, if you're lower elo, make sure you put your factories on heavy cannons. It's just such an easy way of getting wins. Such an easy way of getting wins. And is he going to see the villagers here? Is Jesus going to... Jesus with the second coming just to say villagers run away. 10k score deficit, though, but in low elo legends, that doesn't mean much. I don't think. Chinako upgrade coming in here. And Jesus is actually spending his resources, which I like to see. Again, I haven't often seen Jesus constantly make villagers. Now, I know I can't talk, okay, because I'm terrible for building builds. But again, guys, one thing you need to always be doing to be good in any RTS game, you need to balance your economy with your military. Okay, in Age of Empires 3, generally you always want to have a villager in queue. Okay, you need to make sure you get hotkeys for your town center. Mine is T, which is the standard. So you can see here T and then V, TV, TV, TV. Okay, that's how you do it. Just get whatever hotkeys you want. Town center is T, build a villager is V. Easy as that. So again, need to make sure you always got villagers in queue. Ninjas on 46, he has. I've seen him mostly have villagers in queue. And this has been one of the biggest differences in this game. Like, one player is not building villagers, the other is. And you can see that Chiniko's just diving in against the heavy cannon, barely scratching the paintwork on those heavies. And now there is nothing to deal with these two heavy cannons. Now, if Jesus had his factories now on just heavy cannon production, he would probably have about 4. He'd at least have 2. And he'd have 2 on the way. So he could be dealing with this really effectively. Jesus is sending 2 heavies, which is really nice. But he's going to have to wait for them. And this is a lot of guard musketeers. You're going to have to start kiting now. Oh, nice flank. Once again coming in there. The hands of right flank coming in from the heavies. He needs to get his heavies unpacked now. The Chiniko flank was kind of pushing everything close together, and that's really, really nice. But oh, this is good micro by Ninja, just walking these heavies down. He knows he can do that because he's got the superior mass here. Oh, and the heavy cannon doesn't kill, but this is only on 11 HP, but I think the Chinikos are going to clean up. But there's still a load of musketeers here to deal with, and these Chinikos are not going to be enough. This is just classic Musk bout from Ginja Ninja, and honestly, he's doing a fantastic job. Jesus is trying to make cavalry and skirms. At this level, it's much more difficult to micro skirm goon or skirm cav, for example, than it is just to go Musk Falc. At the very least, just put your factories on heavy cannons, no matter what you're making. And still not making villagers. Look, still isn't making villagers. He's making lots of Chinikos, but they're not going to do anything here. Just trying to hurry down some barracks here. And going to go straight for the factories. This is why you put factories behind the town center, because it's taken these musketeers a long time to see it. Just throwing Chinikos away. I think he's just getting desperate. He doesn't really know what he's doing now. He didn't even click attack move there. And yeah, I think he's just trying to do anything he can to defend the factories. The musketeers, for some reason, going on the cathedral. I don't know why. But it should definitely be going on the factories. Minutemen coming in. Minutemen should have been here. Well, they should have been here in the first fight about 10-15 minutes ago. So again, could have had those Minutemen in an earlier fight to have saved him earlier. Ginja Ninja now getting both his factories in. He's actually got a decent deck as well. He's actually got a decent deck, as long as he filled it out with cards. One of the things he's forgotten as well, he sent Edict the Nantes, but he's never sent any of the Grenadiers. Which is very bizarre, so he just completely forgot about that. Oh my god, he had so much coin just stacked up for some reason, and now he's queued a load of culverins, which makes no sense because there's 0 artillery here, so why he's making culverins? They should be falconets or horse artillery if he wants to make artillery here. Again, making skirms, though, this is the right decision for Jesus. And might actually clean up here. Refrigeration, not a bad card. Not a bad card right now. It's got 52 villagers. That'll be worth 5 villagers on food. So again, a nice cleanup by Jesus, but he's just down. What was that? Oh, I think they were just villagers inside. But look, again, he's not building villagers. Always make sure, guys, you've got villagers in queue. That should be like, if you can just practice making sure villagers are in queue in your town center, make sure you're always building villagers, you'll be a good RTS player, honestly. You will be a decent RTS player. Just make sure you have villagers in queue. Super, super important. Okay, now he's got some villagers. It's been like probably like 5 minutes since I've seen a villager get built. He's on 33. Just hasn't had them in queue. He's got, again, stacking so much coin. You see this often in low elo legend games. People just stack resources. They can't use the resources quick enough. France starting to put some infrastructure up. Again, he's been a little bit early with the infrastructure. There's still natural herds. There's coins, mines on the map. Lots of herds still. So transitioning a little bit early, but he's a lower elo, so he wants to be a bit safer, which is, you know, understandable. And it's not the end of the world. But again, what has this coin got Mexico? You can see here, he's put both his factories on coin. He's upgraded the coin as well. And he's just stacking. Look at this. He's got nearly 4,000 coin. And he's not doing anything with it. Now, if these were heavy cannon production, guys, you can't go wrong with heavy cannons. If you're low elo, you can't go wrong with heavy cannons. All you need to do for heavies is just make sure you have housing. Just make sure you have the population. That's all you need to do, okay? You won't over macro on any resource if you've got heavy cannons. You will just be given OP military, okay? So important. Honestly, if there's one takeaway from this game from both sides, just have your factories producing heavy cannons. The top players often do this. So why wouldn't you do this? You know, just have them on heavy cannons, and I guarantee you will improve your elo. Oh my God, look how many, over 4K. What's he making? Healers. He's making healers. Didn't even know you could do that. For some reason, we've got 10 Culverin Royals. But that's a lot. 76 Guard Musketeers. He's actually almost max pop. I love this. And look at the Aztec Citadel going down. You love to see it. But there is only skirmishes here, and there's nothing to defend against all of this. It is not looking good. Oh, and that fort might not even go up. The most beautiful looking fort in the game. It's basically a Mayan fort building. Oh, healer's just getting smacked. And this is just going to be a wipeout. Wipeout. And yeah, the Curse is going to destroy everything there. And I think, yeah, there's going to be the GG. Mexico just about survived the last push. So this big push coming in, he has absolutely no chance. But again, could you imagine how many heavy cannons would have been produced here if he just stuck those factories on heavy cannons? It could have been the game changer. It could have been a game changer, okay? Ninja played pretty solidly, honestly. Honestly, this guy played like a 1K elo. Just needs to be a bit faster. You know, build order was pretty good. I've got nothing bad to say about his build order. Build order was pretty fantastic, honestly. He got lots of early market techs. His eco was fantastic. Was constantly making villagers. Ended on nearly 60 vills. Not bad for a low elo legend game. Went for a fast kind of a semi-industrial play. Was really, really nice. Made some units before he aged up. Sent his 2 Falcons. Just needs to make sure he maximizes his deck. Make sure he's got the most amount of shipments possible. I don't like that shipment, but outside of Royal Horseman, I like every shipment here. Every shipment is relevant. Very, very good. But didn't use the Edict of Nantes card either, so a little bit of a mistake there. But honestly, pretty solid play. Let's go and have a look over. But you can see even Ginja Ninja, he had his factories on coin there as well. That's why he produced so many Culverins, because he just had an excess of coin. Guys, put your factories, if you're lower elo, put your factories on heavy cannons. That is one of the single-handed most best things you can do as a low elo legend or low elo player to improve your gameplay. You're not always going to make it to H4, but if you do, put your factories on heavy cannons, honestly. Villager count, I mean, you know, Jesus was making vills, but you can see here there was a long period here where he didn't make any. Another long period here and here. So from, you know, 24 minutes to 30 minutes or 6 minutes, he didn't build a villager. Again here, 16.5 to 18. So 2 minutes here, he didn't build a villager. So he kind of was at the start, but then forgot to build them. Whilst you can see here, the French player pretty much always having villagers in queue. And that was definitely the difference here. Villager military count. But yeah, that was a nice low elo legend game. It really was. You know, both these guys, you know, particularly Ginja Ninja, like this guy's got that guy's got a lot of potential. Just needs to clean up, speed up his process, his APM, practice a little bit more, and he'll get right up there. But yeah, other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed that Low Elo Legends game. I know you guys seem to like them. I hope I did a little bit of analysis there, trying to, you know, I could go into massive detail in what everyone's doing wrong, but that would take a long time, and I'd have to pause it a lot. But yeah, let me guys know if you enjoyed that, if you want to see more of this, and I'll certainly find more. I'm always looking for more low elo legend stuff, but again, they're so hard to find. They're so rare that you get games with like that where there's a lot of aggression even early on. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that, and I'll catch you in the next game. Peace.